As a teenager, I was interested in that, right?
Oh, yeah, it's fascinating when you get young. I read it first time when I was 12.
Yeah. So, and then right now I'm 40 years old, and I'm starting to read the beginning, and I'm starting to learn, when what Noah went through and all that, and some of that is shocking.
People don't realize. They think, oh, it was a general time of sin and wickedness. There was just every wickedness you could imagine. Well, that's true. But what was the driving force? Because there were so many aliens here. There were so many people commingling with these things, having children with these fallen watchers. All of the human race was contaminated. The blood was contaminated except for 8 people.
Oh, it's just funny how they deny it. I try to bring that up and say, because this was my first point, is that I wanted to bring to light to people that fallen angels can procreate with humans. And all the Christians that I ever talked to, they say that they've been taught, no, they can't. They're spirits.
I know, they're spirits and they can't have sex, and that's not true.
So much brainwash, I can't believe it.
Yeah. There are some angels in heaven who are just born without either. But you have to understand there's a lot of different classes and ranks of angels in heaven. And the watchers in heaven lusted after women, which means they had testosterone. It's just common sense here. They wanted to come to Earth and procreate with women. Some of them, I'll hear some people say that they took on new special bodies that they created or whatever, Either way, it was possible for them to have sex with women because all of the bloodlines on Earth outside of Noah's family were contaminated with their seed. Contaminated. So obviously it was possible.
Well, one of the satanic bloodline names is Asher, and that's supposed to stem back to Easter and Ashtoreth or something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How twisted is that? That it's one of the Illuminati bloodlines.
Yeah, the satanic Illuminati bloodlines.
It goes together with Easter.
Fritz Springmeier came out with that information. I have it on my website, thewatcherfiles.com. I've talked about it plenty on this site, or on the show. I have articles on it, revealing who this whole Illuminati really is. They're the children of aliens. So the Bushes and the Blairs and the Windsors, the Royal House of England, they're all children of aliens. That's how these Illuminati are, because the Illuminati itself is nothing but an alien council that rules in the second heavens, rules the earth. And the Bushes and the Blairs and the governments of this world, who are their children, through these satanic bloodlines on Earth, just do what they're told to do from them.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. I am totally into it. It's like I'm almost to the point where it's like it's all I talk about,
Yeah.
But I need to back off or something.
Well, people are going to think you're crazy. I've been hearing it for years. But you know what? The more you keep talking, and the more they start seeing with their own eyes. That's all it takes for a lot of these people is to see one freaky thing. One thing. And then everything you've said, boom, comes back to them and makes sense to them. How many people witnessed Al Gore's shapeshift on live TV a couple of years ago? Millions did. And people have seen the Pope start, the previous Pope, Pope John Paul II, start to flash and shapeshift on TV before. And millions of people are starting to catch this stuff. It's no longer just a trick of the cameras or a trick of their imagination. They're really starting to see what they're seeing. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but people will reject what they see. They'll explain it away. They'll say, "Oh, that's me. It's not possible." But when they actually start seeing
trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, when you start seeing somebody turn green on television, it's not your camera. It's not your tube that needs adjusted. These people are turning green. They will, they'll see flashes of it, because one of the parts of as the days get closer to an end, they're losing their ability to cloak and stay human looking. And so what's going to happen is they're going to start losing their ability to stay human. In the last days, people don't realize it's going to be a physical manifestation of the spiritual world that has been behind the scenes all this time. We're going to see them walking here on Earth. It's going to be, and I've said this before, like walking into a bar you've seen on Star Wars, where the guy walks into a bar and has all these aliens sitting in there drinking together.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be just a mingling of aliens and humans. And it's going to be a time to hide if you're a human and you're still here. Hide. See, aliens are not friendly. They're not coming to socialize and drink with the humans. They want to eat you. They want to kill you. They want to destroy you. They will be the enforcers of the legislation that comes out that says everybody has to worship the image of the beast. They're going to be the enforcers of it.
They want to go back to doing what they were doing before the flood.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be much different because they know their time is short, and they have got to have a jump here on Earth from a 3D to a fifth dimension. Well, they know that if they don't accomplish that they're going to end up in the judgment that God's forewarned them of. And so they think that if they can switch our world into a fifth dimension jump, that they will forego his judgment on them.
They need to just have a change of heart, release the scalar technology to use it for good.
Well, many of them can't. They've been sealed to judgment. That's why they've been allowed. The Lord has allowed Satan to do all of this, to test his people, to test his creation. And so many of them
can't get that.
They can't.
Like, why would God allow this? And like, Satan has the reins right now, people.
Yeah, and he's totally allowed to be doing what he's doing. There's some things the Lord will put his foot down on. Like the Lord will not allow him to kill certain people at certain times until it's time for them. Then he'll let them die. Because he'd just kill everybody. I mean,
yeah. God is ultimately in control, but Satan has the reins of the earth right now.
Right, that's exactly. He's got the first and second heavens. And what I'm finding out, the more I research into this over and over, is this whole astral realm, this whole thing about parallel universes and different dimensions. Even the New Agers can't get it straight. They all say something different. Is that he owns and controls all this. He runs all of this. And so his rabbit hole goes a lot higher and wider and even deeper than we realize. How much range of control and deception he has to work with, to deceive us. And that's why I keep saying people need to know the Lord. They need to know who he is. Just cuddle up on his lap. Learn everything you can about him. Because the more you know about him, the more you're going to know what isn't. So when you hear something that is a lie, that is an error, you're going to recognize it immediately for being that for what it is, because you know who he is, and you know that's not him.
Well, yeah, a lot of the sites that I go on, like yours and everything, it says you'll never watch the news the same again. I mean, it's not just the news; it's everything.
I sit down and watch the movies they come out with now to try to figure out what it is they're telling us now, because they do have a lot of good information, because they all know what's coming. You look at Stephen King, that everybody thinks is fantasy and fiction, and all these other people, George Lucas, Star Wars series. I'm telling you, I don't even believe that exists. I don't believe fantasy and fiction exists. It's probably over-exaggerations of real things that have happened or are going to happen.
It's like foreshadowing from the Illuminati.
Yeah, but it always has their spin, so you have to chew the grass and spit out the hay. You know, because in Star Wars series, you have two evil factions going at it, but they make one look evil and one look good, when they're actually both evil. Yeah. They want you to believe that they're both one is evil and one is good. And so you just have to chew the grass and spit out the hay. But they do give out a lot of information in these things.
Yeah, I love your Edomite Jews and the serpent seed line. Did that end with the tares and wheat and tares and stuff?
The wheat and tares, yep. Separation of wheat and tares.
That was an awesome article. I've learned so much from you, like I said, you know, and I can't thank you enough, like everybody else that called in and stuff.
You know, I praise the Lord because, you know what, I've got all these websites on there, and you know, it gets frustrating. It's like there's millions of people all around the world that need this. How much is it really reaching? How much of my life? I've spent 12 years of my life into this already. I've given up everything. I don't have a job. Went to college to sit at home, you know. Basically, gave it all up for him. And
hopefully, I mean, this sounds negative, but hopefully the end will happen soon. And
yeah, well, it is coming soon, and that's why he's got everybody busy. It says his people will do